Okay, we are watching some French league now, and I'm excited for this game. It'll be good. It is Canes. I'm not sure how you actually AS Canes. I don't know how to say it. And then volleyball tours. I don't know. There's definitely a French way to pronounce it. Don't worry about it. Paismanta is the setter. The only few names that I do recognize are Cole Ketrzynski. He played at pretty sure he played at UCLA for a year or two, and then he transferred to Pepperdine. Excuse me. And then I've heard of Strillo. Is he? He must be an outside. I forget where he played. Croatia, sure. Mujanovic is the Slovenian right side young kid, absolute beast. And then Sui Konen, I forget where I watched him last year. It might have been the same team. But great players. French league is really good. So let's get into it. And that's okay. Who's Sui Konen? Because I think it is 22 Sui Konen. Just want to check in so I know what I'm talking about here a little bit. Okay, number 9. Huh. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Whatever. There might be a few subs. These rosters run pretty deep. It's the French league. Noleto Rodriguez. Not sure who he is, but some absolute ballers here. And I really like this ball from Colquette here. Just a nice ball. Gets his feet there. And because he gets his feet there, he's able to make decisions instead of like reaching and then he has no options, I had a teammate yesterday in practice. He went for a joust, but he was like fully extended and then he like got beat on the joust because of that. And what I told him was, dude, get your feet there so you have a little bit of room to push, Really nice run here. Really nice run. I want to say it one more time. Mo Winkle with a nice over-the-top run here. Bang. Gets him at his peak. Gets a good swing. Floater into the hands. Running in the middle. And is this... So is Colquette playing right side? Must be. Yeah, so Colquette's playing right side here. And I like this help here. He might have a little bit of some happy feet where he's going fast, but I guess the steps are fast enough where he can just throw his hands up, help a little bit. And it's okay, again, if you're helping on the middle, it's okay to be late on the middle. Really nice swing there. Look at how high he gets this. Again, same thing. He gets his feet to the ball really nicely here, and that allows him to get at his peak and go OT over some really big blockers. Yeah, really nice there. Really nice swing. Great spot. Clean hand. It doesn't even have to be that hard. Ideally, the harder it is to dig. But, realistically, it's going to score even if it's not a 90-mile-an-hour ball, To the middle here, run in the middle. And, again, these guys are late. Again, this dude's hitting the ball before he's even above the net, and he still is able to get a good touch. Because, honestly, I still consider this a good touch even though it wasn't dug. But still, I don't know. A lot of the time, middles don't get put in positions where they can swing deep corners. Obviously deep corners are phenomenal. Great swing here, by the way. But middles aren't really always able to swing to the deep corner, even though deep corner will score really well for them. So they usually go down because the ball's in front of them, and they kind of have to get it lower. Whenever they take it there, take it down a little bit. And so that allows the blocker to be late and get some soft touches, because if they're bringing it down to you, then you don't have to be up early to get higher. You can be late. It's pretty simple, I guess. I don't know. I don't need to explain it too crazy. Yeah, I think that ball's down, And I don't know if there's any other players in this game here that I know, but I really like this. Really nice. And again, I've told you guys this before, though. Just a little arm movement with the right hand, and then get that left hand outside your body here. Let it be a little far from you, so then it's on the side of the block, and you're not getting blocked. Really nice. And as a blocker, you want to track the ball instead of tracking the person, but sometimes fast plays like that, you don't really have a great chance to do so. Really good patience by these blockers here. And you see how this outside here, he almost hits a split step. He kind of hits a split step here, and then it allows him to get that. That's a really good move by him, honestly. Good move by the middle too. And honestly, maybe this pipe is a little bit slow, where he's in his hands. Yeah, maybe a little bit slow. They're just trying to hang it up there for him. But like you can't have too slow of a pipe, or else it's gonna be double block up there in front of you. And honestly, a lot of options are taken away from you if you have a double block in front of you on a pipe. Really nice run. And setting the middle here, I love how quick his hands are. You know, like he's real calm with his body language, and then just right when he's about to set the middle, he just goes quick hands and hits that window. And that gives the route a little extra speed, you know. This is multiple times now where this has gotten either blocked or soft touched on that pipe. And, you know, maybe they need to speed it up. Maybe they need to speed it up a little bit. Have this guy get up there earlier. Because, I mean, he's getting up there. He's up high. But I don't know. Not sure. Well, let's see. Out of bounds. See a ball. We got 7-6. Big ace here. Really nice serve. Bang. Really nice. And, like, that's not a 90-mile-an-hour serve or anything. But it's just to a good spot, and it forces that player to make a good move. And sometimes they crumble. It's just a little pressure, yeah. Really good triple block over there. And Mujanovic, he's a beast. I watched him play with Team Slovenia a little bit this summer. He's really good. Super athletic kid. I don't know how old he is, but I'm pretty sure he's like a younger player. But he's just very, very athletic. Very aggressive. Great swing, great arm swing. Big serve from the middle here. That's a nice serve. Let's see, out to the outside. Huh. You know, this setter is interesting. He's a smaller guy, and he's not really doing too much. Like, he doesn't try to do too much to trick blockers, do anything too crazy. He just is. It looks like he's just making sure he's hitting the windows, you know? And I don't mind that. I actually think that could be pretty nice. We'll see how it goes. I don't think I've ever seen him play, but we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. Yeah, like he's just hitting windows. He's not trying to do too much, because sometimes when you try and do too much, you're just gonna miss windows. And like in system, if a pass is decent enough, if you're hitting the window, you don't need to do anything crazy. You know, like maybe you'll be able to get a no block up there, but you'll usually be able to at least make the middle hesitate a little bit. Interesting ball. Yeah, and I get caught doing this a little bit too much sometimes. Is I try and go cross body. Thinking I can either chip it off the block or I can get it down the line here, but then it just doesn't go as sharp as I hope, and then it goes into the block here. Good cover, but yeah, I mean, a ball like this, if you feel like that ball is back here, like a little bit behind you, try to take it cross. You know, maybe a tip is fine, maybe something like that. But like if you don't feel like you can take it cross, then just tip. But that cross body from back here, you're usually not going to be able to get the angle. Unless you go like Engapeth 360 behind the back, then, you know, that might work. But that's not the most reliable route. Wow, that's a crazy one. That is a crazy, crazy try right there. And I don't know if the middle just kind of gave up or if they're running it to a spot. But this is the problem with running it to a spot, is once that pass gets moved, he's trying to throw it 20 feet over to the middle, maybe even more. And it's a huge missed window. It turns into a really sloppy play. It ends up working out, but not an ideal way, you know? And you want that middle to kind of follow you a little bit, but it looks like he's... It looks like they're almost running it to a spot right now. Lots of trust going to the middles here. They're trying to find him, trying to find that connection, which is good. But like this right here is, I think, a better decision when that ball gets behind you, is to face that ball a little bit more, tip it behind you, do something like that, because it turns into this is a much easier ball to cover, and you can get it here and score possibly. Like if that defender's sleeping, or maybe you just get a tool somehow. Bang, really nice swing. Really nice, gets it up there high. He still has that line available, and then just goes crossbody with a little bit of torque, a little bit of rotation, with a bunch of power. Ooh, little tape ace, no. Outside, big blocks. And they're getting a bunch of blocks up here. You know, it looks like these blockers, it looks like there's a decent double block in front of them almost every time right now, which I don't know if that's predictability of the setter. I don't know if that's their offense maybe being too slow, or if it's the pass. I don't know what it is, but we'll see. It looks like Tours is here in the white. It looks like Tours is kind of getting good blocks in front of people consistently, and it's hard to score. I mean, this is something that's really nice. It's a really nice swing, but you can't rely on out-of-system scoring to win a game. Big serve off the tape, it works. Going back to Mujanovic. And a little bit of reverse flow here is really nice, because even his move might be a little weird, but this middle's move is going to be really weird. Honestly, pretty good move by him, though. I think it looks like he maybe read the setter a little bit easily there. But still, I'm a big fan of going reverse flow and then having a somewhat faster run when you get closer, you know. But there's got to be that feel. There's got to be a feel for the game, because if the ball's just a real fast one, real weird route, then you have to understand, oh, this guy's not going to be on his route, you know. Good rotation by the setter. I really like that. I like this. See how he's facing the pass, and then as he's setting, he rotates towards the middle and sets him. It's just a little bit of forcing that middle to watch you a little bit longer and making him think a little bit more, you know? Look at the change of pace in this setter's approach and all that. Like, he's calm, and then quickly, right off the toes, he jumps super quick, super aggressively, and just accelerates up. Bang. You guys see that? He's calm, and it goes. You know, like, there's a little bit of deception, a little bit of change of pace. It's really nice. Because sometimes I see setters, like, jump like that, trying to, like, make a huge deal out of what they do when they're about to dump, and it's like, okay, that's going to be easy to read. That's going to be easy to tell what you're up to. But then on this one, he does the same thing that he did last time, and that's a little giveaway to that middle. That, hey, he's set in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, if you do something like that the first time, it works. Do it again, and then set someone else. Like, set a different route. Even if it's, honestly, it doesn't even matter. But then he does it again here. A little bit there. Maybe he just does it every time. I don't know. Not sure. This is my first time watching him, so we'll see. But I don't know. Just be a little deceptive. Like, honestly, right here it works out a little bit here, where he rotates. Looks like this middle just gets beat because he went reverse flow there. Huh. And just making some different decisions, you know, making some different decisions from what you're doing. And then at some point in the game, you can switch what you're doing. You know, you can get into a different rhythm or whatever. Nice run. That's a nice run. I love how he keeps it in front of his middle here and lets him reach a little bit, you know. Like, it's usually going to be a kind of a paddle hit like that, but it's still good stuff. Oh, wow. He is up there. Wow. He's up there. Jeez, look at that vertical. Wowza. Holy 40-inch vert. Is he over? No. He might be. Wow, that's crazy. Floater. Nice float. Just keeps it low with a good amount of pace. That's a nice serve. Okay, that's the other guy. And Mujanovic, it's interesting because he just, like, shuffle blocks everything. You never see him swing blocking. You know, and I mean, there's not many people where he really needs to swing block. But then it looks like here he looks maybe a little bit uncomfortable doing a swing block, and then he doesn't close well enough. So maybe that's just something he should work on, you know? And I mean, I don't know. If you're planning against him, you might be able to take advantage of that a little bit too. Good recycle. Good recycle. Just a quick tip in there. Gets a nice touch. Now they're running their offense. Weird one. Oh, that's gone. That is gone. All right, let's see. Floater. Nice pass. Over the top. Bang. Out of bounds. Way out of bounds. Wowza. Spinner. Nice. Honestly, for what it is, I'm okay with this pass. You know, like, trickled off the tape. You got to make a quick adjustment. It's a 2-pass. That's cool. And then he takes a nice rip. Gets it high. And you want to hang it in that window on a route like this. Like, you want to hang it in that window a little bit. Like, and when I say hang it in the window, I mean you're not throwing it through the window. I mean you're throwing it up there so that it's kind of coming straight down into the window. Like I'll give you an example. If you're practicing that set, then have the setter target like this, like where it's flat, and then you have to go up into it instead of like that where you're shooting it through. Like if I'm setting a 3, then I'm shooting it through the window. But if I'm setting that ball, I'm trying to loop it and let it hang right in the window for as long as possible. You know, not like a high ball, but like tempo, still letting it kind of pop up through there. Cold Cat looking physical right now, man. Real physical. Real physical, good swing. He's up there. Obviously, wow. And then just a nice rip. I like his acceleration. Seems like they got a pretty decent tempo going for him. And it looks like that blocker was just a little bit early there, which I don't know. It's so interesting. You don't like when you're doing it, when you're blocking. Sometimes when you're like really late, but you still make a full move, you're like, you get the block or something. You're like, oh wow, like I felt like I was super late, but it's okay. You honestly can be so much later than you expect. You know, it's very interesting. Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like this Bick is just a little bit slow. Like, it lets him hang and get up there. And against a team that people are leaving a ton, you know, if the blockers are leaving a ton and not helping on the Bick, then fine. Like, you should be able to score. If you're at your peak, you should be able to score against a solo block all day on the pipe. But I don't know. It just depends on your team. It depends on if you have big guys like that, or if you have smaller guys who need to like go right over the top of the tape. You know. Yeah. Really nice serve. Just gets it high, rips it, full arm swing. Got a 1 pass here. Finds the pipe here. And you know, one thing that I've gotten more used to this year is once that pass gets to like a more extreme spot where it's like either far 4 spot or far 2 spot, you call a pipe, you go right in the middle, still kind of on a decent tempo, and the setter just finds you right in the middle of the court there. And honestly, it does kind of space the block out well. You know, it actually does. Like, it actually keeps you in system decently there, which I think the pass was pretty high. The pass was pretty high, which makes it a little bit easier because he can get his feet there and do whatever he wants. But I don't know. I really like that run. You know, I wonder if maybe they could have led him more, gotten him tighter than net, and had him get a kill there, but it's a nice run, you know? Let's see. Nice little float action there. They're out of system. Right back. Bam. Okay. Come on. Do some little knuckles ball. Mujanovic. A little recycle into Kolkat. Mujanovic again, having a tip again. Oh my gosh, that's a big old middle moment right there. Holy wow. This is why it's important for everybody to play defense. Like, everyone should be able to play defense. And also, if you're over there, if you're Mujanovic in this scenario, know who you got over there. You know, like, if I'm in a spot where I have to tip, I'm gonna tip in the middle. You know, that's all day. That's a good block. I want to see that one more time. Goes very vertical, presses pretty well, doesn't drift, really nice. And they're able to run that on that. Like transition balls like this. Who's this Ramon? I feel like I watched him last year. What a great lift by him on this dig. And, in college, I had a very low ceiling, so we didn't really get many scenarios where we could practice putting it high like that. But it's so important. You just give your team so much time, so much preparation, and, time, a lot of the time turns into athleticism, turns into opportunity, turns into whatever, like decision-making time, whatever it is. It's good stuff. Oh, wow. Ball's still up. Oh, my gosh. Short. Mujanovic. Okay, go in the middle. Yeah, really nice run. And they run this middle really tight here, or really not tight. Sorry, really fast, which I like a lot. Because it just forces this guy to wait and get in there. And I mean, he's big, so he's still getting touches, but it's nice. A little short serve, don't mind it. Gosh, this kid's making some pretty good block moves here. Suikonen. Yeah, okay, that's Suikonen. Yeah. He's good, man. He's making some big block moves for how kind of small he is, I guess you could say. And I feel like Mujanovic has gotten a lot of out-of-system opportunities here. Or at least maybe he's not opportunities, but he's been forced into out-of-system opportunities, if that makes sense. Yeah, and again, same type of thing here where he kind of approaches decently aggressive here. He's still jumping with his hands like this, so it's kind of like more deceptive. But I love how he just gets up there and then turns at the last moment when he needs to. Just is physical with it still. And I also love the choice because once he gets moved forward like a step or two, that's when you dunk, because this guy doesn't have the space to get in front of you. And this middle, he's not focused on you at all. That's not his responsibility. Or at least like it turns into his responsibility once that ball gets moved tighter. Or sorry, not tighter, more forward. But dude, I have not seen many middles that are good at saying, okay, this is my responsibility as well now. Not very good at that. Which is fine. I probably would struggle with it too. It's very quick. It's very, very rare, but it's huge. Like, that's just the scenario to do it, Like, in the same way, a fast break with a guy sitting there for a charge, that's when in basketball, that's when you hit your Euro step, that's the scenario. It's a rare scenario, but that's the scenario to do it, it's just, but you build that ability because that's what you're going to have to do. This is a two pass. I'm surprised that this right side here, or actually he's a setter, that he stayed inside and helped out. But it did, I don't know, I'd say it turned into a diggable ball. I feel like Mujanovic could dig that, but we'll see. Short, nope, not today, kid. Spinner, really nice. He hops up on it. Maybe he's expecting the spin to float. And if you run up on the spin to float, you just got to be ready to do something like that and pop it up somewhere. Mago Tatia got me on one of those where I ran up early because I was like, okay, I think he's going to spin to float. I ran up early, and he just got me, dimed it, but it was a saving move. It was a little bit luck. Just a reactionary pass, All right, we got a floater. Got a little barrow here. Throwing it in. Yeah, they're running to a spot, which, I used to be, I don't know. I'd still say that I'm more of a fan of following the setter as that pass moves around. But, if you have a setter who can launch it like this, that's totally fine. And it keeps these guys pretty stable. You don't have to move. You don't have to worry about them moving around too much. But then once it gets moved back like this, I would say this guy take one dedicated step to the left, have this guy front the middle at that point, and then, because, I don't know, I'd say that being able to decipher between these two balls would be pretty easy. And if he just hits a split step and just watches a little longer, he might be able to get a better touch there. That's me. That's me. I'm not a coach yet. I'm only 23 years old, so I got a lot to learn. I'm not too worried about running an offense or creating a defensive scheme or a blocking scheme yet, so it's okay. Oh, come on. Have a little bit of awareness, buddy. He's on the ground. He's on the ground. He's pointing over here even though he's on the ground. He's setting over here even though he's on the ground. Have some awareness, but then he gets up and dunks it, and it counts. Count it. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. I wouldn't have said to set him on that one. Have a little bit of awareness, But hey, stuff happens. Big serve. I like this kid, man. I like Suikonen. I think I watched him a little bit last year. Wow, what a. Okay, this is another reason why you can be late, because he's late here on contact. He's still going up, but because of that, he's able to dunk it like that and just throw it down. Out of bounds. We got 14-10 in the second here. Not the best pass. Bang. Over here. And Mujanovic. I feel like this is one of the scenarios that Mujanovic thrives in, because he's got a triple block in front of him. But he's just patient. They let it hang for him. He's going as athletic as possible, gets it at his peak, and just rips it across. Yeah, that's when he thrives, man. That's one of the best balls that he can, because he can just rip through. Like him swinging cross, he faces the line and then swings through on his cross, which is really nice. Oh, wow, this guy just goes OT here. OT over the top. Beautiful, beautiful swing. And that's over some big boys, too. That's over a big, big boy. Oh, wow. Now, I guess that middle didn't really jump too high, but he's huge. Wow, look at how far he takes his approach from, too. He jumps from, the 10-foot line. But he's big, so it makes sense. Wow. Who got that? The middle? I think the middle got that, not the outside. That's a good move, though. Good move by both of them. And again, look at the posture of this middle. He's patient. He's patient. He's calm. He's not moving. Hits a split step and goes. And then presses immediately. Gets a really nice block. And that's a highlight block. That's a beautiful, beautiful block right there. Real big time out of system here. OT to the deep corner. Really nice swing. Nice, man. Let's see. Floater. Ooh, going back. Oh, trying to go back here. He's trying to do a little bit there. Trying to do a little bit. It's a little DeCheco try there. Stuff happens. It would have been pretty cool, I'll admit. Whew. These guys are athletes, though, man. There's a lot of very athletic players on these teams here. Like Colquette, great athlete. This guy, great athlete. This dude's crazy athletic. Mujanovic, crazy athletic. This kid's pretty athletic, too. I don't know. They're very athletic, man. Very, very good. But then, if he's this athletic, and he's taking a swing like this where he swings down immediately, whether it's because he's not getting himself outside the court and he's got a weird angle and then he's kind of jumping to his left here, or if it's just discipline, or if it's maybe just not getting his feet, whatever the case may be, he swings down into the block there and it turns into an imperfect run. But then when he stays high like this is a much better swing. And again, I think I've explained this already. But when I say he stays high, look at the trajectory of the ball, okay? He's contacting it here, and it stays around that height for as long as possible. If I swung flat, obviously that's going out of bounds, okay? But, what I mean is contacting it at the highest point you can, and then whatever the deepest in the court it can be, or maybe even deep past the court if it has to go off the hands. But the deepest I can go and still score from that peak, that's staying high. Okay, good little reverse flow action here. And anytime you see your setter go in reverse flow, don't kick yourself out so far. Like it puts you at a disadvantage. And Colquette's forced to tip here, gets his feet there really nicely, gets control over that ball with his whole hand, which is nice. But again, he might be able to swing at this ball if he gets it here instead or something. Like, he might be able to get that ball here, right? Maybe. Or here, maybe. I don't know. It worked out. But he can still do this tip. If he gets his feet there, he can still do this tip and then just grab it here and put it down like that. Like, he can still do that. Ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, my gosh. Jesus loves me. Oh, my gosh. Woo! Big old sneeze. Ooh, excuse me, everybody. But again, same deal here. Like, this dude's crazy athletic. Maybe he's late. Maybe he doesn't get at his peak. Like, look at that. He's jumping. Holy crap. How high is that? Oh, my gosh. That's a crazy vertical. But he swings down into the block. Obviously, good move by this middle. I actually like this middle a lot. But he swings. Contact's there. Immediately it goes there. Okay. I think you guys see what I'm talking about now, right? Okay. Floater. Jeez, I hate having a little stuffy nose. A little reverse flow action. Gets it through this seam there. And this is why it's so important not to drift. Because if this guy, he doesn't even drift that much, but it just gives this much space for that ball to go through. And if he goes straight up here, if he goes straight up from here, okay, from this foot, let's say his right arm is going to be right here. He's blocking the crap out of this ball. Even if he's just there, he's blocking the crap out of this ball, okay? Because he goes here, and then his right arm ends up there. Like, that's the difference right there. That's the difference between him getting a block and him getting that ball or letting that ball go into the seam. Like, just going straight up on the block is so important. And he checks his arms and stuff. He's wondering, shoot, did I open up early? What happened? Whatever. Go straight up. Be vertical. Don't drift. Look at where he jumped from. Jumped from here. These are his feet, his right foot. And then he landed there. Like, that's a big difference. That's a very big difference, And I mean, the better, the more stable you can be on the block, the easier it's going to be for you to be like, okay, ball's here, I'm going to get my hand there. But if you're moving and you're trying to grab the ball, you're going to be drifting and you're going to be like reaching at the ball while you're falling away. Okay? Yeah, that's an unlucky one. Stuff happens. Obviously, if he can get his hands on that ball, stuff happens, but that's just a good dunk by Mujanovic there. Let's see. Oh yeah. What a turn. And look at how far off the net he's approaching from. And then he just has everything available and he can just pound that ball. Really nice swing. Mujanovic dropping it short, and now they have no outside. So guess what they're thinking? They're thinking triple block. Ooh. Unless they throw it into the middle. Not a terrible idea though. I've now having a libero on my team who is really confident running an offense from 10 feet, I really enjoy it. Like, I'm actually a big fan of it. I still think that the guy jumping out of the 6 and either swinging or setting is still a more offensive strategy, but still, like, somebody setting a decently tempoed ball is just so important. Good ball. Really good ball. Gets his feet there. Gets control over it. Recycles it really. Ooh, I thought he was going to recycle it. Ooh, stays high. Maybe not the choice. He should have set the middle or the right side here. If he would have set the right side, Colquette would have been up on a mean ball there. Like, and also facing there and then just setting back here, that's actually not hard. Maybe it's kind of hard to sense where that window would be, but like physically, technically, that's not it's not an impossible set to make. Really nice route. And he might be a little far here, but bang. I love that behind route. Me and my setter have gotten a lot more comfortable with that lately, and it's really nice to have because it's pretty unexpected too. Like that blocker, the pipe doesn't get set that much, and those blockers just aren't really expecting it. So all of their blocks are pretty small. Obviously, this dude's huge, but all their blocks are pretty small, you know? Let's see, little tries to go short, gets dimed. Really nice swing here. You know, and if he's swinging deep like this, that's pretty nice, you know? He just protects his face, keeps it alive. Wow, almost scores on that. But this right here, exactly, this is exactly it. This is what I'm talking about because he gets this guy to jump, and then there's nobody up with Colquette. Bang, all day. All day. That is beautiful. And I think he must have realized it after doing the first one, after swinging at the first one. He must have realized it. And maybe the first one was pretty tight. That's the second set there. Maybe the first one was pretty tight, and he was like, maybe I can't set this, and so he just decided to swing on it. But again, the same principle applies that if you're getting this guy to jump, then who's he supposed to be blocking? You know, like if he's supposed to be blocking somebody else, you should set that dude. You should set that dude. Ooh, another in system. Big swing, huge swing. And these guys just taking big swings, big disciplined swings deep into the court is really nice right now. Like they're getting into a good rhythm. Oof. Yeah, and this is definitely not this guy's best serve, but keeping it in and not making an error because your toss isn't perfect is still so important. You know, because it just puts them into a position where this guy has to like make a move still, has to make a good platform still, has to do something decent still. So it just forces some discipline, you know, like if you're playing against a dude who's super undisciplined, he's going to mess up 2 out of 10 free balls, you know. And if you're serving free balls every single time on a serve, if you're playing against super undisciplined players, you're going to get an overpass or an ace sometimes. You know, same deal. And then when you start moving forward and you get into that gap and then you jump, bang, back here, bang. Really nice, really nice, really nice to that D-ball. Gosh, having that connection is so important to me. Like, I want that connection to be down, pat, you know? Out of bounds, but it looks like somebody went in the net there. Yeah, it looks like he went in the net. Yeah, Mujanovic back to serve. Chops it short. Tries to get him out there. Colquette just staying high. Staying up there. Goes field goal right into the line seam there. Let's see. Ooh. And then he's gotten a few now where he's gotten this guy to jump, and so he knows he's going to be late. Bang. This guy is putting on a clinic right now with his decision making. I really like it. He might not have scored on that, but it got them a free ball, so can't really complain. It should have been dimed by that outside, but hey, stuff happens. Big serve, bang. Let's see. Yeah, and that blocker was really early here. Wow, good swing by Mujanovic still. Still, Mujanovic, like, even if he's not in the best situation, no matter what he's doing, like, if he's swinging disciplined, he's going to be in good shape. Middle, let's see what he does. Bang. I like it. And, like, sometimes when you have a middle running a route where he's, like, going to the side or, like, momentum to a specific side, it's going to force that middle to take a step towards him, and then that just opens up this gap a little bit here, and it turned into a tool because they couldn't close it and press and get up. 6-7, scores 6-7. A little field goal action for that middle. That's a big kid. I wonder how old he is. Oh my gosh, that was scary. I thought he was getting blocked. At least he pressed it far enough though. Oof. Oh goodness, shoulder. I should do some mobility today. Big serve, out of bounds. See a ball. Big serve, out of bounds. See a ball. Floater into the hands. And look at how he uses his legs here. This is a really good example of using your legs on a float. Getting low, getting on his forehead, lifting it high. Bang. In system. In system. Floater. And this is an example of not using your legs on a float as much. Like, he relies on his hands a lot there, and it's not as good of a pass. And hey, I struggle to use my legs on floats sometimes, so that's a good example for me, just to be like, oh, okay, I should use my legs a lot more and focus on that this week. Ooh, find it. Nice. Good turn by Mujanovic here. Being able to keep himself open and still swing down that line is really impressive to me. Just allowing yourself to be sideways in the air a little bit, like in a weird, awkward position. Like, put yourself, like, it's just athleticism, honestly. Like, being able to change your body posture or whatever in the air is good. Like, that's really athletic. Little low pass. But then he has to hustle, so he's up there, and he gets a really nice swing. Bang. And that middle just presses a little bit late. He's up, and then he presses too late. Yep. That's all. That's all it is sometimes, man. It's not too much to do sometimes, man. Sometimes it's just someone's got to press. Out of bounds. Big spinner. We're going out of system, a little semi-tempo. Out of bounds. Let's see. Now you're going back to Mujanovic because you're getting down a little bit. Back to Cold Cat. Big swing. Yeah. Wow. Nice. We got a little rally here. We got a little rally action here. Good save. Good save by Suikonen. Did Suikonen play for Chaumont last year? Somebody let me know. Somebody tell me. Somebody look it up on Volleybox. Tell me if he played for them last year. He might have. Inbounds. Short. Takes it. Let's see. To the pipe. And man, this guy is just so athletic. He's just hopping like crazy. Like, that's his vertical right there. That's insane. He's up there. And you don't want to miss him low. And then this middle. This guy's, I don't know who he is, but he must be older. Because he's doing some cool stuff. And then what happens? Blocked by the middle. Really nice. Wow. Good for him. Wow. Good grab. Wow. All right. We have 15-13 here. Canes is up. Nice run to the middle. Letting him be big. Let him take a rip. Really nice. And that's a big dude. He must be like about 7 feet. Go to the outside. Puts him inside a little bit. Really nice. Again, same thing. This is another scenario where you want to try and let it hang into the window as much as possible. With, keeping whatever tempo you're trying to aim for, but trying to let it hang in front of him as long as possible just to make it easier for him to make a decision. Because in a scenario like this, when he is going to go against a good double block, you want to make sure he's able to make some sort of a decision there. A lot's going to be taken away, so he maybe needs a little bit more time to see where the block is going to be or see whatever, So that's why you want to hang it into the window. Out. But then when in a scenario like this where it's 4 options and it's going pretty tempo, he can just swing away. Like, this is the only thing that's really getting taken away. This shouldn't be a swing anyways, but he's able to score right there because it's just fast tempo swing. Bang. Let's see, big setter, little action there. Back, bang. Nice swing. Again, same thing. Mujanovic did the same thing where he's adjusting himself in the air, allows himself to still be athletic. Bang. Takes a good swing. Ooh, a little hybrid action. I think he scored, yeah. 19-15. This middle's starting to get into a good zone here. I like it. Let's see what kind of offense he's going to run there. Bang. Wow, big swing. Huge, huge swing. Gets it really high. Keeps it high. Goes deep into that court. You get so much more space than you expect, man. That's beautiful, beautiful swing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, out to Mujanovic. Same thing. When you got a solo block up there, as long as you swing somewhere deep around here, you should be fine for the most part. Like, as long as you're swinging somewhere sharp or deep, you should be all right. As long as you're not swinging to the 6 in system, you should be fine. But who knows? It depends on the blocker that you're facing. If there's a huge blocker in front of you, then you're gonna have to be a little bit smarter. But when you're solo, there's a lot more available. A little field goal action for Mujanovic there. Floater. Bang. Again, dude scores with the same swing. Same swing scores. Bang. Well, just about. Sneaks into the seam there. Still a really good swing. Yeah, man. That's nice. Being smart. Throwing it down. Getting it off the hands there. Nice. All right, let's see. 22-18. Short serve missed by Mujanovic. 23-18. Short serve going out here. Hey, I remember him. Yeah, I remember him. Where did he play last year? Did he play for them last year? I forget. That's who Strelau is, yeah. Oh, gosh, that was crazy. Who was that? Abreu Cardona. Not sure what that was, but that's okay. Gotta do what you gotta do, big guy. Big fella. Bang. Oh, yeah. Ooh, hello. What happened here? He hits it into the block. Oh, he double clutched and got tooled because of it. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a setter. I would love to actually talk to someone who experiences that turning at overpass trying to block more. But my initial thought is just press towards the ball as quickly as you possibly can. Strelau getting tooled there. Missed serve. Big serve. Who is this guy? Nascimento. That means something. Nice. This big guy's starting to do some good stuff, doing some good work. He's got a good arm swing, man. He's got a pretty whippy arm swing. Gets that elbow high. Whippy. Nice. Good for him. Nice, man. All right, big swing, big serve coming here. Nope, never mind. I was lying. Floater goes to this guy. Nice. Bang. Really nice run. Bang. Wow. Just goes right over top, right behind that middle pretty much, and then just clocks it. And now this is a tempo right here that's fast. Like, that's a fast tempo. Like, he's in the air pretty much on his plant foot, on his plant step. And bang. I think that's the right term. Is plant foot? Which one's plant foot? I don't know. Don't worry about it. I'm not a professional jumper. I'll ask Dylan McCarthy for the advice there. Bang, big serve from Colquette. How tall is Colquette? Did he get taller, man? I feel like he was shorter. Maybe this is a different guy, but I thought this was Colquette. No, I would assume it is. I don't know. We'll find out later. Mujanovic. And honestly, this missed window here, he misses inside a little bit, but because it's tempo and he can make an adjustment and these guys can't, it opens up a little bit of a route there, like floater, good pass, just holding the platform a little bit there. Yeah, personally, like if this guy's putting some pace on the ball on the float, you got to just find the angle and hold it and just be aggressive to it. You don't want to give the ball too much time to move around. Oh wow, gets the block there. That's funny. And like this is one of those balls where he just didn't swing into the good space. He swung into the 6. Maybe it was a low ball, whatever. But you can do something. You can make a better decision there maybe. Obviously he wasn't trying to get blocked. Mujanovic is killing it right now. Mujanovic is doing well. Let's see. Nice. I like this. I like these middles. I like these middles over here for volley tours. I think they're pretty good. I like this guy too. I think it's him, right? Yeah, I think it's him. He's good middle. Nice tempo. Gets himself up there. Let's see what kind of tempo. Yeah, they're on a little toes action there with on center contact. They're on the toes. Gets up there, takes a good rip. Blasts it towards the 5 a little bit. Spinner. Tight ball. Throws it in. Oh, yeah, but I like this. I like this here by Suikonen, running inside a little bit, just being ready for that. And then when it's back off the net a little bit, he just kind of has to throw it with his arm, with his hands there. But, yeah, just expecting that miss inside. Ooh, and then he just blasts this one out of bounds. Ooh, wow. Ooh. Yeah, he missed that one, that's for sure. That's for sure. I like that middle, though. Wow, nice. Gosh, what a run. And honestly, they might need to put him higher because it doesn't look like he's vertical. Which maybe he wouldn't be comfortable there. I don't know. But it's interesting. It's tough to find his window because he's hitting it so high. He's just got crazy vertical. Nice dunk here. Really nice. Just letting that ball get out there to him and then bang. And I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised that this guy's so late. Huh. What are they talking? What's he talking about? Come on, that's not a carry. You're not getting called for a carry there. Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on. Oh, yeah, all day. Bang. Yup. I'm going to have to look up how tall Coquette is now. Bang, nice swing. Nice swing. I like it, man. I like this guy. I don't know who he is. He reminds me of, his arm swing reminds me of Deminenko. And, obviously how he approaches, too. He's very aggressive. Nice swing. His serve is also from the 6, too. Lots of similarities. Tip. A little in-system to Mujanovic. Just a slight field goal. That's how much he's given up, and it field goals him is crazy. That's insane. Stuff happens. Sometimes you just swing away and you get the ball through. Sometimes you get a kill. Sometimes you get blocked. Who knows? Ooh, out of system, big time. Putting over a free ball. And these setters they're running a good offense, man. Both of them are. They're doing well. Spinner, out of bounds. Let's see. And he was very this guy was really early there. He might be even jumping before Coquette is. He's off the ground at the same tempo as Coquette here. Wow. Yeah, he's very early. You want to be, he's on his way down before he even hits it. And then it's a good soft block, but he's probably getting, a real block if he's a little later there. Mujanovic, again, field goals, man. Mujanovic has gotten, 5 field goals in this game. I don't get it. I don't get where that's coming from. Oh, wow. He's late. He dives to the line. Throws his hands in. Look how he finishes his hands too. I think that's very important. He gets outside the angle enough, and then look at how he throws it to the middle a little bit there, and it works out perfectly. Big serve. Let's see, perfect pass over the top. Whoa, sneaking on there, getting crazy. And I like that middle, keeping his hands up, because that you never know. Dime. To the middle again. Wow, that's a good ball. And this is such a flat ball too. Contact here, contact there. That's a very flat ball, Bang. Swings there to that deep corner too. Again, deep corner is going to work. Obviously, it's tough sometimes, but if you can train yourself to swing to a deep corner when you're pinned like this, that's really impressive to me. You know, that's really impressive. Let's see. All right, let's see here. Auto system to Mujanovic. Goodness gracious, he's lights out right now. I wonder how many points he had this game. Big swing, or big serve, sorry. Out to the outside, bang. This guy's athletic, man. He's a beast. Noleto Rodriguez. I don't know where he's from, but he's good. Could be Cuban. Not sure. Rodriguez. Not sure where he's from. He could be Argentinian, maybe. I don't know. All right, let's see. Big swing off the hands. Honestly, good touch by him. Just good, quick reaction there. Yeah. And you want to just hang this ball as high as you can. Like, that's not a ball where I would say to go tempo. Like, this is a weird enough angle, and if you miss this window and he has to adjust like he does right here, he's not in a good position. He doesn't have many options there. But we got 14-13. Good pass. Bang. Middle. Good. Woo! Now this is a volleyball player here. Dodges it, waits patiently, puts it up to the outside. They don't get the kill, but it's a good ball. Ooh, good recycle. Mujanovic, lights out. Dude, he's just automatic right now. He's swinging. Oh, I think that, wow, good move by the setter, honestly, for a minute, like trying to be a middle there. It looks like maybe he gets field goal again, or maybe it goes inside. It looks like maybe it went inside, inside his right hand there, but hey, he's automatic right now, dude. Big spinner. Really nice serve. And if you're serving from the 6 here, you really want to figure out how to open yourself up and hit that corner, because that is a really difficult serve to pass, in my opinion. It's a really difficult serve to pass. And it cuts back into the court too, which is kind of tough. Kind of tough to read sometimes. Has Mujanovic swung and not gotten a kill in this set? I don't know if he has. Let's see. Kolkat trying to do the same, doesn't get it. Bang. And now usually he would go there, but he goes there that time. Now let's see what the middle does when he sees this. Yeah, no middle there. But again, he's just applying pressure here. And he doesn't even need to open his arm as much. Like, he's just jumping like that. If he gets someone, whatever. If not, it's still in system. He can still hit a good ball and hit someone in system. You know, like, as long as he's still hitting a window there, he's going to get a solo block. You know, he's going to apply a little bit of pressure, and then if he can apply a little pressure and still hit the window, bang, solo block all day. Little bit of pressure, not enough to where you can't hit a window. Like, you can't jump and do all this crazy stuff if it's going to make you not hit a window, you know. Short. Going to Kolkat. Ooh, big block. Big block. Let's see if he's early again like that. Gosh, he's barely behind him. Gets it on the way down. He's just so athletic. He's able to press so well. Wow. Really nice. Good for him, man. You know, even though he's early on the block a little bit and whatever, don't care. He's athletic enough to where he can be okay with it. Out of bounds. Wow. Gets his feet there. Goes up and blocks it. And this is why I'm okay with missing tight. Like, I would, again, I've said this before, I'd rather it be in their hands than off the net here, because then I have no choices there. Yeah, because then he has to do something good, and I'm able to go up and try and block it, you know? Let's go. Ooh, I like the action, though. I like the action. Tries again. Maybe it slips through his hands a little bit. But this is like the kind of the pressure that I'm talking about, where it maybe makes him miss the window a little bit because he's drifting so much. But I do still think that he could. Wow, they called a touch there. Yeah, I do think that guy still could have gotten the touch on the swing, or made some sort of a better decision maybe. Wow. Jeez. And they're taking the line consistently on Mujanovic and just forcing him to swing cross, but they're not getting any digs on him. I mean, he hits it really hard, so I'm not blaming them at all for not getting a dig. He's blasting it away, that's for sure. Bang. Let's see. Ooh, was he on the line? Yeah, he's probably on the line. Out of bounds. All right, 1822, volleyball tours up. And Canes is just breaking apart a little bit here. If this isn't, I'm going to look it up right now. Because I don't want to be telling you guys that that's Colquette and have it not be Colquette. Okay? I'll be quick. We're about to finish this game out. Trust it. Let's see. Cole Ketrzynski. Oh, shoot. I don't think it is him. Where's he playing right now? Oh, shoot. So it's not him. So what about, who is this then? Oh, maybe it's his brother. I think he has a brother. Let's see. Canes. I'm just going to look up Canes. It must be his brother. All right, let's see. It's about Dragons. You guys like dragons? Let's see. Ketrzynski. Yeah, Xander Ketrzynski. That's his brother. Let's see how tall he is. 207 centimeters. That's a big dog. Let's see what he does on this swing. He's a little early. Gets a little block out. He gets a little tool skate. Bang off the hands. And again, if you're swinging high and hard, you should get some tools pretty consistently. Like, you should get kills consistently if you're swinging high, hard, deep, and clean. Okay? And, that can be in system, that can be out of system, doesn't matter. 24-19, they get a nice side out here. This guy has really good discipline with how much he keeps space off the net here. And, it's nice because he's huge. And if he's going to do this, he has to be able to swing deeper in the court, I guess, because he's not as close to the net, it's just the angle that's available. So they're out of system here. Mujanovic gets a little recycle. Good. Mujanovic again gets dug by, what's his face? Dimar. Wow. Really nice dig. Big time out of system. Let's see what he does. Gets a nice soft touch. Wow, what a rally. We're going 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Bang. And that's going for the game right there. That's how you finish out a game. Wow, what a swing. Sharp cross, blast it right in front of everybody. What a game. Thanks for watching, guys.